Come manifest your best life with 190 Vision.
My husband and I are having a discussion about individuals who reach out to 190 Vision for help, but then they come with expectations. Honey?
Yes, sexy, beautiful, intelligent woman that I'm looking at.
With the individuals who come with expectations, thank you for the compliments, by the way. What is one that stands out the most to you from these individuals?
First of all, those are not compliments, those are facts.
Well, thank you for the facts and for pointing it out.
All right. Well, I'll say that the situation that stands out the most, and we can give many examples instead of just coming up with one example,
Mhm.
the situation or the expectation that stands out the most to me is where individuals come in and they're asking for help, say with healing. And this is where I've seen it most. They request some type of healing help.
Mhm.
And of course, with someone that is not part of the community, as in they're not involved in any training with 190 Vision, the priority is not the same, right?
The
So,
priority is in,
as far as getting the healing work done,
okay.
it's not the same as in for someone that is actively participating in the trainings.
Well, why is that?
Well, because number one, we know that if someone is actively participating, if they choose to participate in their own healing process, then they're serious about being healed because they're willing to do their part to get healed. And that's what we were told by El Moria and beloved Saint Germain. There's that part, we have a video about that, about co-creation, that you're expected to do your part. Even when Jesus healed individuals, he always said what? You're healed now, but go forth and sin no more. He always said that, meaning, okay, whatever habits you had that caused this to affect you, make sure that you break those habits now so that you stay healed. Do you follow?
I follow. Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
So when someone contacts 190 Vision, the first thing we do, and this is just a recap, we first we first deal with attachments for possessions. That's all we focus on for the first few days. And that's what I mean by priority. It's not that we put them aside and wait a week or something. We still get to them within the 72 hours, is it that we say? Or 20,
Right. Mhm.
72 hours. So they're still helped within that time frame, just like someone that reaches out that chooses to be an active participant in a 190 Vision community. So that's not what I mean by priority. What I mean by priority is that someone that just approaches us and or contacts us and said, "Yeah, could you help me with some healing work?" Okay, fine. We start up by checking to see if they're possessions, if they're attachments, because as we found out, over 70% of illnesses or situations, say not non-beneficial situations, occur because of the presence of attachments or possessions.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
And we will do that. We will give that treatment maybe 2 or 3 times. Right? And it's not every day that we'll do it.
Mhm.
Now, an update is sent to the individual. Oh, clearing work was done. And I don't know if they pay attention to that, or we say work is done, right? Or was done.
I let them know specifically if it's clearing or healing or
Okay.
whatever was done.
So the message is sent, clearing work is done.
Hmm.
First time, they might check and they send us an update. I still feel the same way. Okay? We send a message a few days later, clearing work was done. I still feel the same. This doesn't work. Just don't do any more work on me. Okay. And the part they're missing is that no healing work had been done yet. It's just clearing work. Again, because over 70% of the time, just giving the clearing treatment takes care of whatever that situation is that's affecting them. So that's
Hmm.
how we deal with individuals that are not participating in the 190 vision trainings. Someone that's participating in the 190 vision training, we give the treatment for clearing. Okay, that doesn't seem effective. Then we know, okay, whatever is taking place is not because of a clearing situation. It's not because of attachments or possessions. It could be something else. So then we move on to the next thing for that individual because we know that they are also implementing the tools they've been given to help with their situation.
Right. They're actively involved
That's correct.
in
So,
taking care of everything.
so the priority comes in where instead of continuing with the clearing, we move on to the next step quicker because we know that they're more involved. So I want to clarify what I meant by priority. We
Thank
get to we get to the healing part faster compared to someone that chooses to just not want to participate in the training where they learn to help themselves. So next thing we know, they're like, well, this doesn't work. So just stop doing work on me. And even though we stress that, we start with the clearing first, somehow they forget that. So they expect immediate healing. And when it doesn't come immediately, then they say, I'm done with you guys. You guys can't help me get healed. So that's the one that stands out to me the most.
Well, I think in that case as well, it makes me sometimes wonder, did they watch the videos on what to expect on how this process even works? I start to think that maybe they're just so feeling an urgent need to get help that they just click on that help me button and complete the form without watching the follow-up videos to understand the process.
Oh, that's a really good point. That's right. Because there are a series of videos that are sent out that explain the process and what 190 Vision is all about. Good
Correct.
question. So if they're not watching those videos, then yeah, it's easy to just say it doesn't work.
Yes, exactly. Instead of reaching out and saying, okay, so you've done this, what is the next step? Because this hasn't changed. But instead, you're right, the response we get is, there's no difference. You
Mhm.
haven't done anything.
Right.
Okay, we have done something. You just are not aware of it. And I think another part of the challenge is that, speaking from my standpoint of what my mindset was many years ago, is I would expect something very drastic to have taken place. And I feel that that's kind of what some of these individuals who come requesting help are expecting as well. Something drastic that says, hey, work was done. I can really feel the difference. Everything's changing. Individuals may not be aware that even though the clearing work has started, it started on the spiritual side and it will take time to notice changes on the physical side. There might be some subtle changes, which maybe they're not paying attention to because they just think it's normal in their life, but there are changes taking place. And I think that goes back to the videos that are sent out on what to expect and what takes place when they go through the process comes in.
And what you're saying applies to a small group of people, though, because in many cases, the individuals do notice drastic changes. So you're talking about individuals that maybe don't notice or they don't experience a drastic change right away, is what you're saying.
Right, or it's not the change that they're looking for, maybe.
Okay. And like you said, normally when the change comes on slowly, it's because there's more work to be done, as in it's a deeper issue. right?
Yes.
And so the frequency is so low that it will take multiple treatments to help them.
To hear the rest of this story, go to 190 Vision TV on Roku TV or Amazon Fire.